Welcome, everyone, to the Life of Giants. My name is Dion the Genetic Marvel, and with me is my close personal friend, Mr. the Extreme Moderate, Kyle Petrilla. Hi, Kyle. How are you?
Hey, Dino. How are you?
Super duper. Super duper.
Show.
I mean, I feel like that. We should do one show like that. I think that would be fair. Because how are you doing? I'm good. Good to know. Have a great day, everybody. Click.
Yeah, it's called our month of men's mental health.
Yeah.
That's about the amount of attention it gets, and yeah.
You know, my frustration with this whole thing is that why are we devoting 1 month to these things specifically only because then we can use it as a capitalist opportunity, right? Then we can sell stuff about it. And you're like, or it could just be important all the time. And maybe everyone can stop thinking about that. Sup, Giants? Eat any peasants lately? Interestingly enough, this conversation did come up, was that, and walkie talkies, you would understand this too, is that there was a time when being a manly man was like peak achievement, right? Like that was your goal. Like I was good at sports, I could climb things, I knew a trade. These are all manly things. And now if you say some of those things, people are like, oh, you're very aggressive. And you're like, what? That's not, that was 2018 before. Yeah, well,
no, like, it's probably, I think it's taken longer to demise, but like, yeah, well, the feminist movement bullshit. Have you seen did you see that G8 thing where Trudeau was just like all the world leaders were on the outside, we're in a circle, and that bitch was standing on the outside as if waiting for an invitation?
Hey,
like, yeah, you don't get invited, you little feminist cunt.
They do not like him. And listen, and let's, to be very clear, right? Let's make sure that we understand this. It's not about that people deserve to feel safe, feel loved, and feel happy wherever they are. What we're talking about is now people are adamantly of the opinion where it's like, no, for me to be happy, you have to be sad, which like, that's not a thing. Also, the new trend, and this was before the pandemic was already starting, was the idea that it's not enough that I succeed, but you have to fail. And you're like, hey, there's success enough for everyone. There really is. It was called, it was back in the 70s when things were great.
There used to be, yeah. Cocaine was running free.
Cocaine was running free. Key component. Let's be honest.
But it was just like, yeah, the middle class. And guess who's trying to bring back the middle class? The Conservative Party. Like all the other.
Bruce Norris, damn, or what Rio mentioned. Also, Bob Ross, because he believes in, and Mr. Rogers. Like, look, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Drizzo, those are real men. Why? Because it's not a, you can't, like, okay. Sorry, I got to bring this up. My wife was like, she mentioned something about me being soft about something. I'm like, oh, would you rather everything I do it hard? Like I walk hard, I talk hard. And she started going, sorry. Yep. No.
And okay, what were you doing all last week and today?
Jewelry making.
Yeah. And whose idea was that?
Victoria's.
Yeah. And that's really fucking manly.
Correct. Yeah. Now, in my defense, there were a bunch of things that we had to do. None of those were manly. But what I did get to do was a pendant and or keychain, which I did the bat symbol because I'm a man. Number 2 was we had to make a ring. Now, the ring, interestingly enough, we were doing it on flat silver, and then we were rolling it and soldering it. To be fair, Dino was trying to knit chainmail. I did bring that up in the class. I will. I'm like, so, like, if I wanted to make chainmail, she's like, not in this class. I'm like, damn it. So, I did ask about brass knuckles. Also, that got shut down real quick. I'm like, I'll pay for the material. She's like, it's not about that. It's not what we're doing here. It's a different class. I'm like, gotcha.
That all being said, much like everything else that was ever made, was made by a man originally. So, but just because it goes on women doesn't mean that jewelry making is not like. but you know,
they're actually, so interesting enough, when we were in Greece for our honeymoon, we were walking around the Acropolis, the Parthenon, that whole area, because there's a lot of ancient architecture and stuff like that. But we found a jeweler who's like super, super famous for making jewelry out of gold that looks like leaves. And it is wild. Okay. But I'm like, this dude is brass knuckles required casting. See, Victoria knows. Victoria's like, she booked this class specifically so we can get into casting. I'm like, I'm casting. Boom. Some knuckles, baby. I'm going to get in trouble in this school. That's for sure. There's no, that's a given. But yeah. So the ring I did, by the way, Kyle, I'm not sure you would remember this. Do you remember the old Hercules cartoon?
You showed me it.
So I showed it to you. Oh yeah.
I remember the cartoon. Yes, I had zero recollection of the ring and then you showed me it. I still have zero recollection of the ring. I now know it of yesterday or whenever the fuck we were together. Saturday, yeah.
So I polished the ring and handed in for marking because makes sense.
Grades are important.
So if I don't pass this class, I can't do the other classes. Victoria's like, you better pass this class, otherwise we can't go to the other ones. You have to do this one again. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll try.
Like a
scam. It's a college. It's all a scam.
Oh yeah. So you learned nothing and have some pewter.
No. It was we did brass and silver for this stuff, and we do get to keep it, so it's fine. I'm gonna see if I can send myself the video that I took, and that way I can show you guys. I didn't do that. But yeah, it was fun. It was an enjoyable experience and definitely thing, but I feel like I'm looking forward to the other stuff that we're gonna do. So
yeah. Well, yeah. Because everybody learns all the stuff in the first year of college. That being said, it's like, why don't you learn anything in the first They're like, oh, this is the year where you pay $100,000 and you do fuck all. I'm like, yeah, this isn't a scam.
No.
You read books nobody wants to remember, and you get a piece of paper nobody gives a shit about. Let's
Correct.
Go to school. You're at least doing something.
I mean, that's the benefit of this. So, like, hilariously, what really I was kind of frustrated with this was that, like, if I mess something up, I'll scrap it and start again. That's how I like to work, because I'm like, there are very seldom times when you're like, oh, you can repair it and it'll be fine. You're like, no, I'd rather just start again. There's no time, there's no materials, a million different reasons why that won't work for this class. But I'm like, honestly, we were using tools that are communal, so who knows what you're getting. And then like Victoria had a torch for soldering that like did not work for her, so she started using my side, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I have I took a video of before I handed it in, so let me play that.
All right, and that is that is my Hercules ring.
There, yeah, okay, I saw it.
And then and people were like, "Isn't it supposed to go the H top down?" I'm like, "No, because you wore it on the side." And Hercules, that was the whole thing. It was a big.
I was gonna actually ask you that because
it was a whole. If you Google,
I trust you.
Tune, ring. It comes up on the thing. It's but there's a video and stuff. So it's very fun, and I honestly had no idea what I was gonna do, because I was like, I highly doubt anything I make I'm gonna wear. But this actually turned out pretty good, so we'll see. You agree, rather would have called us all kitties. Yeah. Well, hammer with their mouth. I mean, so
that different, because that's still my opinion. Right? You have all these, 120-pound men walking around playing football, soccer, whatever. Yeah, I'm like, okay, you take a ball, and you're 120. You're a boy. You're just 30.
Did
you're
you?
Still a boy.
Yeah, you're still. That is also fair. Do you remember that?
You throw tantrums when somebody touched your little ball, and you roll around on the ground and pretend to be hurt. And then they take you off in a stretcher for you to come back in 8 seconds because you were so fucking hurt.
Kyle, I feel like your favorite sport is soccer. Is that?
Yeah. And it's fantastically entertaining. I love to watch it's 3 hours of nothing happening to end in a 0-0 nothing tie. Let's go watch the Euro Cup.
Hey, wing passes to center. Center passes to wing. Center passes to wing. Wing passes to center. Goal! Yeah, that's basically
It's like
the whole thing.
Center Cup. It's a fucking jockstrap, is what you are.
Listen, I'm not a huge fan of soccer, but I just remember in 2004 when Greece beat Portugal, and I had Portuguese friends, and they will never forget that they lost to Greece. I'll tell you that right now, because we made sure that they remember that.
Good on you for being charitable and befriending Portuguese people. But I'm always a big fan of them losing anything.
And Italians, let's be honest.
Well,
Walkie-talkies are neat. Let's be honest. We've all heard a lot from the Italians. We got it. They need to have strength in silence for a while.
All the way down there with their, because they're all like they max out at like 5'7", the little pygmy tribes that is Italian.
Also,
but they will get up to 6 feet, but like wide.
That's it. Well, I agree. The James Crab. I mean, it's not even that. It's more so that it's just so over the top that I can't handle it. Ooh, thank you. So we just ordered food. Just an FYI.
Why is it the most popular sport in the world? Because you don't even need shoes.
Yeah, basically that's the whole point behind it, right? Like you only need a ball, right? That's why also too basketball has started to pick up.
Oh, I feel sorry for walkie-talkie.
Mm.
Yeah, well, basketball is one. Well, it's not. Soccer is not even number one. I think tennis is.
I'm not sure.
It's like the top 5 are, and then basketball has a big it's big around the world. I've heard, although I don't really trust the source because it's one of the. I've blocked like 6 people in my life, and this is one of them. But like American football actually has leagues in Europe.
Yeah, no, it's true. All right, top 10 sports of the world. Ooh, interesting.
Is this gonna be a guessing game for Kyle? Or?
No. You were close though. So this is another sport that I am not familiar with. Like I've played around with it because I grew up beside people who were from Trinidad. So number 1 in the world is soccer/football. Number 2 is cricket, which is very weird. But number 3 is tennis. Golf. Number 4 is golf. Number 5 is basketball.
Yeah. Well, it got very international. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Baseball might creep. Well, Japan is very baseball. I don't know, but I don't know what keeps that away. You only need a ball and a stick there. I
think it's more so the damage you can do with
Formula One.
No,
baseball have cars in their country, and you want Formula One to be in the top 10.
Oh Jesus! So baseball is number 6.
You'll get cycling. We'll get up there before Formula One.
Rugby, and then number 10 is hockey. Can you believe it?
It's shocking because it's such an expensive sport, but like
a very expensive sport. But
even so, it's like only rich people play tennis, so I don't even really understand that.
Yeah, I know. So Formula One, I think the problem with Formula One is people don't think of it as a sport because it's more for observing, not for doing, right? Like it's not.
What, you didn't have a Formula One class in high school? No.
You know what? Walkie-talkies are neat. Went to school with Victoria, and their school may have had a Formula One team. I'll tell you that much. My school didn't because I was in Brampton with Kyle. And we couldn't afford that stuff.
At the very least, we had NASCAR, but that was just Friday nights at Tim Hortons. But
just doing donuts in the parking lots.
Like Brampton's still there. And
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's not a white sport there, but
no, not anymore. Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, this is the thing is, hockey is popular in Russia and in Europe, right? At least Northern Europe.
And at least Canada, North America does make up some
So now, yeah, but I'm saying like outside of North America, right? Like this.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like even U.S. is like kind of. I'm like, yeah, they have teams. Do
Yeah.
people really care? I don't know.
Yeah. My pop bought me a unicorn air fry when I was 6, man. Your childhood sucked. That's Brampton. What are you gonna do? That's just how it is.
Like, yeah, my life right now isn't as good as what you just said. Like, you know, like I don't know.
Why?
I live by a place that sells Ferraris.
That is true. That is true. Which also has the weirdest name. Like I look at him going, I mean, yeah, but no, it's weird. It's been there for a long time. But where is ping pong on the list? I mean, that I kind of want to. Let me hold on. I'm gonna check that out because ping pong is not on that list. I want to get a longer list just to see.
Yeah, but like, what are we ping pong? Where are we gonna throw billiards in there now and like whatever? Fuck.
I mean,
badminton.
I'm surprised badminton. Actually, I would think that tennis. Have you played tennis, Carl? I've tried to play tennis and I lost every ball I had. Just
not even once, really. Like I could probably be okay at it, but like it never came up, and it's like, why would it? And like, yeah, I don't. I think badminton should be in the top 10 just because of shuttlecock, but you know,
that's a fair point, sir.
Yeah,
fair reason point
for comedy purposes.
Like
they're like, you know how we make this sport popular? You know the birdie? Well, we're gonna really name it.
You imagine someone's like, "Hey, pass me another cock." Like, well, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, badminton big in gay bars. Oddly,
I mean,
for an outside sport, but you know,
field hockey and feels very every rec center. This one, I mean, that's probably true. Found a list that included field hockey and volleyball. See, I would think field hockey and volleyball would be above regular hockey. Maybe not baseball. Also, baseball, you need a lot of space, right? Volleyball
is like, well, baseball, like you do and you don't. It's just like popularity. I'm like, it doesn't need to be a professional sport to be the popular one. But like I'm sure the popularity for soccer, sure there's teams and whatever or whatnot, but like it's because anybody can play it because almost everybody have feet, you know. Like
almost. Huh. I don't know. Here's the thing: there's like
our feet on the spectrum.
Feet are on the spectrum. Why? Why, Kyle? Why do you?
Because this is how stupid our society has gotten. I'm just very tired of it, and I
remember I went to school with a girl who was like 5'10", 5'11", but she wore like size 5 shoes. So I would make fun of her, ask her if she's a pirate. Like she must have like peg legs because I'm like, there's no way there's a foot in there. Like it's just
they're hooves.
Barely. Yeah. What's it? We would find
how a top such small feet. Did she tip over?
Like no. Well, she was a dancer, like ballet and stuff like that.
She found her feet. Was she Asian?
No, she's a white chick.
Also 5'11", so no.
We should find a list top 10 sports. We're gonna do that. That's fair. And probably
it's called killing more people.
I mean,
sucking the wealth from the middle class.
Hey, there is nothing like hunting humans. Let's just start there.
That's why Hard Target is one of my favorite movies.
It's how does it feel to be hunted?
Thank you for knowing it because I've watched it so many times.
I mean, it's a
great dialogue. You can't use a gun against a guy who can kick really high, like, you know. And if you unscrew a grenade, maybe you actually do it.
All right. So I got the list. Most embraced sports by wealthy people that make their hearts fly. Whatever the fuck that means. Okay?
Eating babies. I'm starting from the top down.
They don't eat the baby, they just drain it. It's like have you ever seen that thing that they do? They roast a duck and they put it and they squeeze the duck, and that's what the whole gravy thing.
No,
anyway.
I've never seen.
So, number 1 is golf, which makes sense. Number 2, skiing. Also fair. Number 3 is equitation and polo. So horses, then sailing, boating, high altitude mountain climbing. Jesus.
Like Mr. Deeds.
Like Mr. Oh, yeah, like Mr. Deeds. Then race car driving, then big game hunting. So big game hunting isn't on there till much later on the list.
That pisses me off.
It does, because I feel like that should be higher on the list, or they're
I
lying.
feel like it shouldn't.
It shouldn't be there at all.
Well, it shouldn't exist. Leave the lions alone. Fuck, man.
Oh, it's that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, leave the lines alone.
Yeah, like, you know, they're endangered. You know what else is endangered? Billionaires. How about we start shooting them?
If anything, I think we have too many billionaires. We gotta
Well,
call the herd.
But like overall, I think as a planet, there's a lot less of them, and we can make even less.
I wonder if you could get away. Okay, let's broaden this stuff up, because the whole idea today, we had no idea what we are gonna do. But what we were thinking of doing was just talking about all the shenanigans that we've had. I went over to Kyle's place on Saturday and caused significant shenanigans for him. Just because I'm that friend. Like, I'm a good friend, but not I'm a careless friend. Let's be honest. That's fine. Surprise rowboating wasn't on that list. That is fair. Dude bit off the tail of a rattlesnake. How did it not win an Academy Award? I mean, that's only fair.
I agree.
It's a good
By
movie.
the way, if I go off video, I'm still here, just tending to.
I know. Your business. It's only fair. This is the thing, is like, we've seen the Purge movies. Did you watch the Purge movies, Kyle? I feel like you would have liked the Purge movies. At least the first one.
I've seen like 3 of them, I think.
Mm.
I didn't watch them until the pandemic, and then, well, there's one specific reason, but like it didn't come up in those movies, so it was kind of good. But like, I didn't want to watch a thing where it's just like, oh, rape is legal, and then that's all that the fucking movie was, because I don't see why that's in horror at all. Because I'm not gonna run into the street where there's this where somebody was like, I'm not gonna date a girl who was attacked by a clown, probably. But the other thing could have happened to anybody in that room, and I don't need to, like, why do people need to relive that shit because they chose to see a movie that you produced? Like, and like, I'm just, no, like, fucking no. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that. No. And luckily, it wasn't really in the Purge movies I saw.
No.
Like, and I meant to. Well, I had to go back to work eventually, so, you know, like, they end the lockdown, so I didn't watch the rest of the Purge movies. I didn't get to the TV show either, but
that's fine. You're good. Yeah, but listen, that's the thing, is like, they were more focused on murder, which I'm like, I get
my
it.
primary focus too.
Yeah, I'm very focused on that too. But like, realistically, we're seeing more and more that kind of shit is being thrown out there. And while I personally don't think we are overpopulated on a world level, clearly there's a lot of things that point to the fact that yes, we are too many people, and we're too clumped together, right? So it goes to reason that maybe we need to spread out a bit, at least. If not cull the herd, spread out. It seems like a reasonable thing, but
you know what I was thinking? Oh, fine. Okay. So there's this hunger strike in PEI over international students not getting priority to stay in this country, which is hilarious because that is the most Canadian thing. Because, oh, what, you were here for a few years and you thought you were going to stay, and some people who just shipped in got all the benefits of the country, yet the people who have been here the longest got none of them. I'm like, hey, you just became a Canadian more than you ever thought. Now get out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, guess what? Canada hasn't been, Canadians haven't been priorities for 8 years. It's all been shipping the world in here. We have 0 houses to give, and it costs like one person like $2,700 a month for rent, and to rent a shoebox. Like, what are we, Japan now? Like, holy shit! At least they like did it gradually.
Well, this is the thing: is even driving to George Brown, we saw a couple tents in like nice areas, like they were tucked away behind trees and stuff, so you couldn't really see it. But like, those were tents, bro. Those were tents in the middle of nowhere because people are trying to survive. And I'm like, that's not. I mean,
yeah, thank God that's where our vets go.
So I stole a car during the purge. Do I have to return it the next day? I don't think so. I think once you commit, once you have done it, it's yours. But I mean, I don't know. See, I think the purge was specifically because if you watch the lead up or the prequel type stuff for purge, it does explain that like they were like, yeah, there's too many people. We're fucking killing people. That's what we're doing.
Population control thing.
Yeah, well, it was also like a pressure release valve because it's like everyone's going crazy. Let them kill a few people that don't really matter, and it's 2 birds with 1 stone. People calm the fuck down, and also less people to worry about. You know,
that's just the school system in the States. Every once in a while, you have a bunch less students.
Jesus Christ.
Well, not my country, not my problem to solve.
I mean, that is a fair point, sir.
Although we're shipping in people to shoot up our schools. That's great.
I mean that, yeah, because we are
conflicts in countries that aren't ours.
Yeah. See, have you ever protested anything, Kyle?
Protesting.
You've protesting? Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know where to put the sign.
Wow, I'm sure the protest you were protesting had a few ideas. Boom, boom. But
no,
like,
I don't, because what has protesting ever changed? Nothing.
I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
Tiananmen Square, like maybe, like okay, but like that was like at a point. It's just like a protest versus a revolt. Like it's like no, like a protest. I'm like, oh great, you know what happened? Like our at least like you know the prior generations would have actually gone and fought the war. You came to a free country to complain. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're uninformed and voting against your own causes, which is hilarious. So it's all just.
This is the thing: is people also come to North America with the idea that I'll be able to fight for what's right. No, that's a lie. I'll tell you why. Is because this isn't back in the day. Right now, you get fucked just like everybody else. Here in Canada, protesting doesn't do anything but make it impossible to go. Oh, don't even. Okay, listen. Let's talk about this because I think this is important. Just recently, Germany changed the rules so that if somebody is protesting by sitting down on the road, it is no longer against the law to push through
with a car.
Yeah.
So that's progressive.
In my opinion, is there are ways to protest, but like standing in the middle of the road, just because you technically won't get hit by a car because people are afraid of going to jail and being manslaughter. Yeah, win for Germany, 100% a win for Germany. There's no question. But the problem is that like I've seen things on the internet, as I'm sure everybody has, and some of those times when people don't stop, it's a lot, bro. That's a scary thing to see happen.
I do have but it's just like what's the difference between it's just like just mowing down somebody in the street? Did they have to have like a protest sign or something? Like, do they have to be known as a protester?
I believe so. Those punks blocked Mount Sinai Hospital, should have been arrested. Oh, 100. You under no circumstances should you be allowed within 150 feet or 150 meters of a hospital's entrance, egress and ingress.
No, but like
just because
blocking in Germany there, or like I don't know. Yeah, I think
they were blocking
roads, and those roads led to hospitals, and like there's emergencies, and it's just like and everybody's idling, and they were against the burning fuel. Like that's why.
Yeah.
Why would I ever join a protest? They're always stupid.
So stupid.
Oh, like I knew.
What's up, Serge?
I heard of a guy. He was in like special school because why? Because he torched. He was young, so he torched an SUV dealership to save the environment. Oh, because although that one fire probably was worse for the environment than those cars' lifetimes, but yeah, that was a great deal. You know, like they're always just stupid people. My favorite part is when people have now started fucking with protests. Did you see that? I think it was they brought balloons with alarms and they let them.
Oh!
So it's just like noise and horrible, and I'm just like, that is all protesting is noise and horrible. You never change anything.
Mm-mm. They were rape alarms too, so they're like really annoying because you know, and bro. And what was it was I forget what it was. What was the meeting?
No, it's all the oil. Oh, we're burning oil. It's the German, those orange idiots. They all wear the orange.
Yeah, no, but the attack with the balloons and the rape alarms, that was against those people. Which I'm like, oh, like you cannot, it's just absolutely chef's kiss. There's no question, right? Like, but like the idea that people don't understand how, like, you can't just pretend and I'm gonna block track. What? No, you know what you have to do is you have to get the people on your side. Like, this is the problem: is protesters are failed politicians. They're losers. That's it. They can't actually convince anyone of anything. So it's like, that's not a thing. Okay.
Being annoying. Well, apparently the state in Canada it does get results, but it shouldn't. It's like you want to change the world, do something. Sitting there, like you're not Gandhi. Like we don't give a shit. And Gandhi wasn't exactly Gandhi either.
Neither was Mother Teresa. Neither, like, listen, we've praised these people in history, and you know what? Most of them bastards. Okay.
You know why they sound good? Because their side won. Like, so they beat.
I'm sorry. That's it.
Yeah.
How often have we heard that the victor writes history? Right.
Yeah. Well,
but that's not limited to because remember, look, we have stories about religious organizations. We have stories about conquerors throughout history. Take the time to read up on these people because I'll tell you, like this show started with the principle of talking about stoicism and how you can deal with that. Because listen, being able to feel your emotions but not let them control you is one of the greatest achievements, in my opinion, of a man. Okay. And one of the worst things, like I remember a guy who was a dad, he had 4 girls, like he had 4 kids and they were all girls. So it was just him, his wife. So it was him and 5 women. And I'm telling you, bro, that poor man, because he just like whined all the time. And I'm like, bro, they converted you. You can't act like that. You gotta figure it out. Like, because you're there, right? What are you gonna do?
I had no, I knew. Okay, well, I was kind of whatever. There was a family, and it was the dad. He had 3 daughters, wife, and the dog was the girl. But,
still counts.
No, but he was a man. He wasn't. He didn't complain about shit and laid down the law when it had to. Maintained, right? So that's just the problem. Is now they're like men are being we're being taught how to be women, and it's not doing anything good. And then the very thing that runs through your veins that makes you a man is toxic. No,
that's correct.
It's not.
Hey, can you?
It's the only thing that built this planet.
I argued with somebody on a show, and I was like, "There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's toxicity from people or people who are not toxic. That's it. There's toxic, non-toxic. You don't need to be a man. You don't need to be a woman. The fact that you're gendering toxicity, it's sexist. It's that simple." So
I told a comedian once that her show was sexist because it was the longest running all-female show.
That's sexist.
Yeah, okay, it works because it's the longest running, but like it's not necessary anymore. Like
No.
women are on shows all over the place, except Ajax, but like
that's only because there aren't women in Ajax.
No, I know. I was just they just that show just released a bunch of pictures from the last last show, and it was like 5-6 white dudes, not even all white dudes. And I'm just like, diversity in comedy, but like it's hardly the case, especially in the city.
Yeah,
get a shot, and far too many people get far too many shots. Because some of them just suck.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. No, there's no. Hey, that's hilariously both based on sexism, racism, all sorts of isms, just for the simple fact that people are like, oh, well, I like you because you're from where I'm from, or I like you because you're whatever, or I like you because I need a female to my thing. And you're going, yeah, that's not right. None of that's right. It should be whoever's funniest gets up. But sadly, that's not how the world works.
No, and it's like, oh my god, I saw a thing about I think it was like a defense, like there's a dude he was like, we need to bring back bullying because these kids are not are growing up so weak and soft, like they can't stick up for themselves
at all.
But you know what's insane? It's not even the like the teachers, like the teachers are soft. All right. No, all I hear ever is I just saw on TikTok a story about a kid who was getting bullied and his lunch stolen every day. So he put in laxatives in his cupcake, and then he was in the office getting threatened with expulsion and all this shit because somebody stole his lunch, ate it, and then shit his pants and spent an hour on the toilet. And I'm like, that's hilarious. But and he had already complained. So the adults do nothing, all this stuff, but they have zero tolerance for bullying because they just won't recognize it. And then when you take care of it yourself, you're the one who gets in trouble.
That's right. You're the problem. You defended yourself. How dare you defend yourself? Yeah. And that comes back to the whole idea that schools are not what we think they were. They're not institutes of education. No. They're institutes of control and training to train you to sit down for 8 hours a day, shut your fucking mouth, and how dare you question, hey, don't do anything. You just take what you're given and you shut your fucking mouth.
Answer when questioned.
And it better be right or else you're in shit. Like, I remember, man. So I was a financial planner. Okay. Actually, then I was a financial advisor only. Smart. A financial advisor, accredited as a fiduciary. Like, it was an important job. I was managing around that time, probably around $75-80 million. Okay. And they were like, hey, we want a few of the advisors to come into the meeting with all the branch managers to try and help us refer more business to you. And I'm like, sure, love to. I go into this meeting, and the boss, who's the area vice president, is basically berating her team. Okay, these are all branch managers. And I'm like, bro, a branch manager is a real job. Like that's actually a respectable. You say, oh, I'm a branch manager. People go, oh wow, that's impressive. Like in the bank, it's no longer respected. But back in the day, like that was somebody who had authority in the community, right? So, she's like berating them, and she's asking questions. She's like, what? None of you guys want to answer? And I'm like, bitch, why would anyone want to answer? Like, you're literally spitting fire at these people, and then you want them to interact? Like, are you batshit crazy? And she was like the most powerful person in the area. And I'm like, you shouldn't have anything. You're insane. But she would do shit like this, where she's like, oh, come in for a review. And she would go, okay, so we're going to give you this, but the paper that signs that you're getting this isn't signed. So she's going to go through all the things and give you shit about it, and then she'll sign it. So as long as you don't freak out, she'll sign it. And I'm like, yeah, that's bullying. That's your piece of shit, lady.
So you just go in for your yearly ass handing and then get a piece of paper?
Yeah. But she won't, she'll talk shit the entire time. And then as long as you don't, I was like, because I saw that she hadn't signed it, and she purposely has it there, and she has her pen right over it. She's like, so we're thinking of this, and she's like, just waiting to sign, because as soon as you give her shit, she's like, you know what? Fuck you. You're getting nothing. Why am I what? Right?
And what
It's
is
not-
this for? Like
Your annual review.
Oh god, what is that?
Yeah. And I'm just like, listen, that is such a bullying tactic that I'm like, what planet? I ended up leaving that area specifically because of that lady. Because she's like, why are you freaking out? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, why are you so aggressive? And I'm like, I still have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, I don't understand what your problem is. And I'm like, I still haven't said it. And so, hey, hilariously, my general manager is sitting right beside her. He comes back afterward. He goes, hey, man, you got to calm down. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I'm like, I didn't freak out on anyone. I told the truth, exactly answered the question. If she can't handle an answer, don't ask a fucking question you don't want an answer to. It's that simple. Sorry. I kind of understand why I got fired. It's fair. It's one of those things that are just how it is. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, like that's the thing happened. They asked me my opinion. It was a new like district manager, and it was just like, and then everybody had a meeting, and I knew I had already been like bashed by other people. And then I went in there, and like my boss, who would always like protect me because she knew I ran the fucking place, was off for a week. It's just like, yeah, but of course that's the week that I was gonna have my thing. Like it was always gonna be. And then I told her what I thought, and I also said I was underpaid, and then I was really underpaid but they gave me a package and I left. And you know what? It was great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have asked. Like I did myself proud, like by getting fired from that piece of garbage job, because of what I heard from my coworker who was there is how it immediately tanked. Why? Because they didn't fear the repercussions of the manager; they feared my reaction. Oh no, and then. Yeah, and then I went to shit for weeks and months, and they haven't had a manager like that. Manager quit, which is hilarious. I'm like, okay, so you fired me, quit, and then they haven't had a steady one. One was there for a day. Like that's how good this place is.
Bro, can you imagine? Like that's the one thing where, like, I love that meme where it's a guy walking. He's like, you walking into work knowing that you can bench more than everyone in there, so technically you're the one in charge. And I'm like, listen. There's some merit to that statement, okay? I'll happily listen to whoever's in charge, but don't come in here flashing your chest or trying to walk all over. Bro, I'll smack the shit out of you. Treat me like an adult. Let's talk as human beings. Be respectful, and we have no problem. I have no problem towing the party line. But don't come in here trying to be like, you know who I am? You're going to be dead meat, bitch. That's what you're going to be. Don't fucking step to me, because I'll smack the shit out of you. Even when I was fat, I had somebody goes, oh yeah, and take 2 steps forward. And I took a step forward. I go, yeah, that's why. And he's really, yes, he took a step back. I'm like, and I took a step forward. I'm like, yeah, why are you stepping up to me? Who do you think you are? I'm like, oh, you think anything? No. I'm a man. I'm not going to fucking get pushed around by somebody because they're the boss. Oh my God. If you have to tell people you're in charge,
that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. But yeah,
I'm in charge here. Okay.
Then why did everybody come to me?
I immediately love whenever someone says I'm in charge. I go, good. What should we do? They go, I don't know. Okay.
All right. Well,
that's your instruction. I'll just stand here and wait. No problem. And they go, what should we do? I don't know. I'm following instructions. But, bro, and immediately people get angry. Be like, yeah, why don't you work with me? Why? I'm like, I am a great dog on a leash. Beautiful. And I'm like a dog that has thumbs. I can still do shit. It's great.
Yeah, but once you kick the dog gets pissed.
Holy shit, that's how government disputes should be handled. Who can bench the most? Bro!
I wouldn't be, but
I have an honest feeling, and this is so like because you and I talked about this, Kyle, and we may have even talked about it on the show, was the idea that you should no longer be allowed to become anything high ranking without a equally high ranking physical attribute. So, such as I am a doctor. I also can run marathons. Impressive, right?
Okay.
Or someone's like, oh, I want to be the prime minister or president, but also I know how to do kung fu or, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, something. I can beat the shit out of somebody. Because you know what? Listen, let's be honest. There's a lot of people talking who shouldn't be allowed to talk. And maybe just need to take a break. And you know how you take a break? In recovery position. You roll them over on their side. You make sure their arm goes over. That's how you give them a little bit of a timeout. Albert Einstein on 10 benching. Bro! I mean, but listen, if Albert Einstein's like, hold on, I got to go bench, and he busts out a full set, even 400, bro, like 300, doesn't matter, and does a full set, you're going, oh, I'm going to listen. This guy fucking knows what he's doing. That's a fucking powerhouse, right? I mean, where did we stop believing that you had to match energy, right? Because look, half of the world we equals 24 points up. Hands down, best comment. Hands down, no question. That's fantastic. But like, listen, if you can do one thing, like half of the people in bureaucracy and or authority in this world are just people who have money and connections. You're like, that's not a thing. We have to eliminate that entire idea of people being like, oh well, they're rich, so they should be about. No. Oh, they have this. No. Sorry. You have to. I'm a sword fighter. I can fucking cut you with a sword. Fair. I can throw ninja. Like, listen, if I can throw a javelin and I won a gold medal throwing a javelin. Awesome. Like, there has to be
that got it into the judge.
Bro, can you imagine that you're like, oh, I threw it so far, they're gonna have to extend the fucking things now. Like, that guy should have went back and become president of his nation. Be like, listen, he changed the game. You deserve respect. It's only fair.
What, that happened? I don't even know.
Yeah. No, he didn't, but he should have.
Well,
let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, he shot it into like one of the judges. Like, that's
yeah. Which like,
and then he just took it, pulled it out, and put it back, put it in the ground. I'm like, get on the judge,
bro.
Yes.
Guys are hardcore. Can you imagine? I think the idea of being in the field while people are throwing spears at you is definitely, you're like, yeah, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you think he was watching?
I mean, that's kind of his job, right?
Yeah, you would think he has to just like measure to where it lands, but maybe you should have made sure it landed not in you.
I mean,
maybe pay attention a little.
Usually a good point, right?
Yeah, so I keep going off screen because I had surgery on my sinuses. So Dino obviously knows this, but anybody watching can show. And so I'm kind of actively bleeding from my nose. So once in a while I have to like tend to that. But otherwise, I had ice cream twice, kind of 3 times in the last few days, and it was the first time I've had that in like months. So I don't know.
Yeah. How'd you like the other one? Did you go to the other the Reese's peanut butter cup?
Oh, the it was good.
Yeah.
It was the milkshake. Yeah.
Oh. And, FYI, Walkie Talkies Are Neat just sent me this. This is a picture from an alternate reality where Einstein definitely benches at least 3 bills. Like, just killing it, bro. Killing it.
E equals MC cubed. I don't know.
Do you have like 4 feet of God's over your nose? He did for a while. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
My friend had that operation.
Me too. Make sure your friend does nasal care forever now. But yeah, it's not like I can breathe that much better right now, anyways. But
how come you had to do it again? It just didn't.
Well, shit grows back, dude.
Oh.
And I have cats. Oh, you would think that would have made the gateways bigger, but that wasn't mine.
It did for me. This nostril is massive. I could pass a lug nut through it. Great.
See, all the air. That's why you got so fit now.
Oh.
No, but I'm like that. I shouldn't really live with cats, and I have 3 long haired, so there's that. But also, shit does grow. I just have really bad allergies. The first time I had this, I had it cleared, and I almost wished my allergies were so insanely bad that I was happy when it like did start shutting down a bit again. But then like a few years later, I ran into really problems. But like,
so is it that things are just healing closed for your sinuses? Like, how is it?
Polyps grow back, and then it's swelling as well. So
yeah.
And it's different spots, and it was worse. And
so they went in there and like just cleaned out everything.
Yeah.
Like scraped you clean.
Yeah, like well, I had fluid on the ears because of this shit, and like like
yeah, he did.
So,
he had danglies in his nose, not just boogers.
Yeah, but it was like and then for the longest time, like my nose wouldn't like I couldn't have a runny nose; it would run down my like throat and shit. So it's gross.
Which is it's not necessarily.
It happens to all of us every day, all day, but like not 100%. So yeah.
But that's the thing, is not being able to breathe through your nose is definitely impactful on your
existence. It's impactful on mood disorders, like everything.
Yeah.
It's hard for your heart, like everything. Your mouth dries out, like as I realized this morning. Oh God, it was terrible. Anyways.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's one of those things. I don't know. I love having a cat. But your cats are actually a lot nicer than my cat. So they'll come up and they'll like want pets, whereas my cat only does that to Victoria. He looks at me with disdain and walks away consistently.
He's racist.
He's definitely racist, that's for sure. But he's a Russian blue, so there you go. Victoria's like, Apollo is awesome. Yeah, for you, for the rest of the house.
It would fit in more in Russia. I don't know.
I mean,
well, she is Asian, so I don't know.
Who knows? Crazy time to be alive, my friend.
No, my cats are nice.
Yeah, they are.
They were trained because they were raised by nice people.
And then
I qualify.
Kyle's nice to cats, not to
I have
people.
documentation. Fuck. I got some ex-client sent me like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That you're apparently Kyle is a unicorn of epic proportions. As an emotionally supportive, he's an emotionally supportive unicorn.
Because I'd rather deal with your problems than what's my shit. And but then like everybody disappears and all I'm left with is my shit.
It's funny how that is. I'm the same way, where I'm like, I'll happily help somebody else deal with their shit. But then when you're like, oh, you got to deal with your shit, I'm like, tomorrow. That's fine. That's just, I wonder why that is. Because I have yet to hear anyone who's like, no, I'll make myself a priority. Like, well, I immediately know they're lying. Right.
Now all they do is when people make their selves priority, must steal from all others.
But they don't, though, because they still will help other people and their shit is still fucked up. Like, they're not helping themselves.
No, they're avoiding their own shit.
Yeah, they avoid their own shit and they don't help other people. And you're like, that's the thing, is what we need is like a human centipede of help that, helps itself.
I don't think you're in charge of marketing, sir. You're just okay. So we should watch Pay It Forward and live with that, live under
that. Spliced with Human Centipede, the two of them together.
That's more of a Pay It Backwards type of deal.
I mean, technically, that's why it has to be circular. It can't just end. It's got to all the way right back to the front. I mean,
your twisted logic, sir.
Listen, my way, there's no input, and also, everyone gets help. It works. I thought about it. It works.
So there's like a heat wave happening right
now. Well, it's supposed to be hot the next couple of days. We're trying to get our fan fixed for our.
Oh, it's not yet.
No, we talked to a new guy, and because the person that we talked to, I was like, listen, my stuff is 10 years old. I'm gonna have to replace it soon. There's a chance that we'll be able to get through the season with just one fix, because right now it's just a fan that isn't working. But so we're trying to get that fixed, and then otherwise, if that isn't fixed, we got to replace them, and we got to replace everything, and that's gonna be parts.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so it's really taking a toll on me. I feel like I was doing okay, and then I had this surgery, and now I'm just like, maybe it's the food. I don't know. I feel like I'm falling off. I need to like go back to walking. I finally did today, like my beginner walk. just to the
Down to the beach?
no, I
The
like
bridge?
the rocks I like meditate at, and then I go back, so it's like 4K.
Okay. So people understand. Kyle was like, hey, I'm taking these walks, but 2K there, 2K back. You should be fine. And I'm like, cool. I would love to try this. I said, is there any hills? He goes, no, there was one hill. You know where that is. It's not that bad. It'll be fine. Cool. Then Kyle starts going, yeah, so I did my walk and then I just kept on going, which was to the beach. And then I started walking the beach. And then he's like, so I may have walked to the other side of Etobicoke. And I'm like, why would you do that? He's like, yeah, so I walked 26 kilometers. So that's like,
I didn't walk to, I walked from Etobicoke to Liberty Village, deep in Toronto.
Still ridiculous, to be very clear. Okay. And at times, just so any Americans are watching, we're talking about 18 miles he just walked to go. Yeah. And he's like, you should come. I'm like, I'll die if I have to do that. Like, just almost immediately I would die. But it would be entertaining. So now Kyle, and if you see Kyle, essentially he's turned into some sort of man jerky. He's barely got any, just his skin, and he's super tan. Super tan.
I'm not, dude. You should see some of these guys. They are fucking jerky. They look like.
I know, but you're let's be honest, it would be hilarious for you to be like, I know what you're talking about, like the runners where you're just like, bro, that's barely skin and bone. Like, it's just
the old men who are out there, and like, I'm like, I know you're a white dude, but you are like browner than some brown people.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
it's like, and you look like jerky. Like, you don't, that is not going to age well, and you are already old. But yeah.
See, I'm very confused at that, because like I have pretty decent skin. You have pretty decent skin. We both tan very well. But like, I know for me, like if I take my shirt off, it is like the beacons of Minas Tirith. Like it is white, bro. Like, but that's like, I had an uncle in Greece who, like, his forearms and from his neck up, it was dark, like dark, like he looked like he was Southeast Asian, like he looked like he was Indian kind of thing. But like he took his shirt off and you're like, boom, super white. I'm like, what? But I don't know.
Oh, but like, I have that. Like, look at my neck here. Like, that's not like compared to my face. Like,
oh yeah,
like I'm pretty white. I also like, as like in my life, I haven't been. I wasn't in the sun a lot, and if I was, I wore a shirt and shit. Like, I didn't, and I used to wear a hat all the time. And so like,
yeah, me too. Yeah,
it was never like, I was never one of those, and it's good because I'm glad, because now I'm tanning now a bit. But like, I don't. But it's like, no, it's pretty bad for you. But like, it does make you a little happier. It kind of explains some things. But no, it's like, yeah, it ages you hardcore. Some of these chicks, I don't know. Like, I knew a girl, super pretty, and but she ended up like, she had a crack here, and it was like and she was like late 20s. So, and then and it's just like, yeah, it's from fucking tanning. And like, she would tan, like, she was Italian.
Yeah.
She would tan, and people are like, are you Egyptian? Like, her black.
Yeah.
Like, she would turn into, like, she would divide races at this point.
Oh, for sure.
Like, insane. I am tending to some nose issue here.
No problem, brother.
I just got a job.
Oh, congratulations.
For Wednesday.
Oh, that's close.
I think it's the first time I've worked in 2 months.
Well, are you gonna be okay by then?
I was thinking about that a minute ago. We'll see. Yeah. But I have like tomorrow to worry about that. But no, I'm like, it's getting like significantly better. Like the fact that I don't have anything at all. Like you saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Or whatever, Saturday.
Yeah.
So
Saturday was a lot.
Yeah. So like, it's obviously less than that if I can sit here at all.
Is the nausea still with you, or?
Well, yeah, because more stuff's actually flowing through the nose, and then there's like less shit altogether. So, But
Is
yeah,
the like the scabs and stuff that's starting to come out, or
well,
you
I
have
got
bo-
some of that out on the Monday, or I mean on the day that you were here, Saturday.
oh, I remember it
Like the
was
clots.
impressive. Let's to say the least.
Oh, but like you didn't even see what happened before you woke up. Like, I was gonna wake you up. I was passing. I was aborting my nose. Like it was
You,
gross.
you should probably have woke me up. I was supposed to be there for his safety. Everyone, I'll tell you, all I did was put him at risk the entire time.
At the best, Dino was there to find the body. Like he was, nothing else was gonna be like.
No, yeah, no, I wasn't gonna be able to do anything, but it was enjoyable, and you survived, so it's
Yeah.
and I brought you food. I mean, come on.
Yeah, nobody's complaining. It was
No.
fun.
We should have more sleepovers. I mean, we should have sleepovers without surgery, and then we can actually probably have a good time. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. Be one of those things. That's you know what, and that's definitely something that I would tell people is that make sure to do stuff this summer. I think even if it's just going for a walk, but like I have started to work out daily. Kyle has been walking as if someone was chasing him. It's
as if it would
wild.
get me anywhere.
I mean, he's walking as if he's propelling the earth, basically. So that being said, like make sure you get outside. Right now, it's actually been quite nice. It's beautiful sun out. It's good for your health, and also just even going for a walk after dinner is definitely beneficial. Kyle, any parting last words? Do you guys have your sketched out on Wednesday or no?
No, and
No.
it would have been canceled because I got a job. But no, it's the following Wednesday. I don't
Okay.
know if there's even somebody booked yet, and yeah.
In the meantime, everyone, check out Hammered and Cheese. It's gonna be tomorrow at 7:30, right where you're watching from. It's gonna be everywhere, and I don't remember what it is we're doing as a meal, but we'll find out. It'll be posted sometime tomorrow. In the meantime, this has been Life of Giants, and we'll see you next week where we'll talk more about all sorts of things. If you want us to talk about something, feel free to message us or comment on this, and we'll do it as well. See you later.